All right, in this video, I'm going to be reacting to probably one of the biggest upsets of the year. This is the Johns brothers versus Tardio and Diascu at the last PPA in my backyard here in Mesa. So we're gonna hop right in, and but before that, I do want to mention one thing. If you're enjoying this content and you like what I do here, and if you would like to train with me in person, go ahead and check the description below because there's opportunities to do that. I'd love to see you on the court. Let's jump right in to the match. All right, so we got the Johns brothers here up top, and we got Diascu and Tardio on the bottom here. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna break down and analyze certain points of the match. I'm not gonna be going through the whole thing. That would take a really long time, but we're gonna kind of look through together what are some of the main reasons for this upset. Obviously, the Johns brothers have had a ton of success, but in this tournament, they obviously didn't, play their best. And also, Diascu and Tardio played amazing. They were on our podcast, so if you want to check that out as well. All right, so we're gonna hop right in, and we're gonna watch a couple points here. Okay. Nice top spin drop there. Okay, so we got a Ernie right off the bat. Kind of textbook play here by the Johns here. I do want to break this point down because I find this really interesting. And the groups that I train and different players, that I come across, obviously, that top spin in this game. Actually, when I first started this game, top spin was not a common thing, not a big thing. Now in this game, we're seeing top spin utilized in every single shot possible. So if you aren't using top spin today, that's something that you're definitely gonna want to start developing. But we can see right off the bat, Ben Johns here with a top spin drop. Again, top spin is just much more aggressive, and you can see it actually pushes Tardio off the line, and it's because it's crashing into him, so that's what makes it really difficult. And here we go. One thing that Ben does really well here, and again, this is more of a teaching video, but I call it taking control of the middle, especially as a left side player, taking the control of the middle with topspin dinks. So you can see the first dink here, pulling Andre out wide. And you can see in this position, we're actually going to go back. It's actually forcing, we're going to go back, sorry. We're actually forcing Andre to hit a half volley, right? And again, when I'm teaching players, this is the kind of pressure dinks that we're looking for, looking to hit against our opponents. But you can see this topspin dink forces that low half volley to the backhand side. Andre doesn't move his feet here, and also in this position, there's not a lot of options. There's not a lot of places where Andre can go in this situation because he's taking it off the half volley, or what I call short hop. So you can see even Colin look for the Ernie, but he doesn't find it. Oh, he does find it. Sorry, I thought it was longer than that. So okay, so there we go. Again, sorry, I thought it was 2 more points, but again, that half volley to the backhand side really forces a lot of problems, especially against right-handed players. And it's that topspin dink that really sets it up. And Colin, his feet were, I think, just clean there. I think Andre might be asking the ref here. But really quick, if you aren't dinking with topspin yet, you're a 3-0 player, 3-5 player. Obviously, there's a lot of fundamentals that we need to focus on, footwork, paddle position, those kinds of things. But if you are headed towards that 4-0, or your aspiration is to be that 4-0 plus, you need to be looking to start to develop topspin in all of your shots, really. And we'll probably keep diving deep into that. So first point off the bat, Ernie opportunity. We're gonna I'm kind of gonna jump ahead here, and we're gonna look at more points together. Okay, so we got Andre and Tardio stacking here. Nice return. Boom. Okay. All right, so good pressure there by Big Ben. Again, that swinging volley forehand, top spin return, a little bit of a high drop, and again, crush the forehand there. And then we're gonna actually keep it moving here. Okay, we got Colin to serve. The left-handed reset. Wow. Okay, so before we even move on from there, I want to go back. And for those of you, just really quick, wondering why I'm stopping it all the time. Again, I got to make sure that for copyright purposes, I got to make sure that I'm stopping the video and breaking it up, because this is more like a reaction teaching video. But either way, one of the misconceptions at really any level is that we don't retreat and we don't back up for anything. Obviously, pros do this all the time. If you're in a defensive position, or you feel like your opponents are going to be pressuring you on offense, and you need to give yourself more time and more space to react to the ball, it makes perfect sense to really come off that non-volley zone or retreat and stabilize. Okay, so we're gonna see that here. Big Ben has that first initial drop, which is high. You can see Colin with that first reset. It's not the best reset in the world, and he actually goes lefty here. I don't see Colin do that a lot, but you can see every ball is actually in the wheelhouse of Andre, right? So every reset now has been in the air, in the air, in the air. So if we go back, right, Colin, one of the best resetters in the game, usually would get this ball to bounce, right? And that's the whole goal, to get your reset to bounce. But if we can't get it to bounce, and you can see Andre here being probably 6'3", I think that's what he was. But, you know, he's using his length well, and he's leaning in, looking for swinging volleys. So this is great pressure, and you can see Colin digging himself out, and you're going to see him retreat one step, one step, one step. Now, a lot of players would say, well, why is Ben continuing to stay there, right? There's that. Again, Andre is going, and Ben doesn't really retreat on this one, right? But what you'll notice is his split step. He gets nice and low, and look at his paddle position. Attacks again, boom. And again, when it comes to pro level play, or let's just say, you know, whatever level you are, your comfortability, I'll call this, the more comfortable you are with your reset game, the more comfortable you are in that transition zone. That's why if you're a 4.0 level player plus, I think the better you get, the more you're going to understand how important it is to practice in that transition zone. So we're going to see here, Ben, even though he doesn't retreat, he knows he can handle, or, you know, he has confidence that he can handle this ball and reset it into the non-volley zone if it comes to him. So again, so here we go. But now, I don't know if you saw that, right? And I know I'm pausing it a lot, but, you know, this is really good for teaching. You can see this, and I want you to see every time, even as Colin is hitting this, look at Ben's head, right? He's never not looking at the ball. And that's really important at any level. I see many times, I see players, you know, you're either on defense or whatever the case may be. I see so many times where their partner is hitting the ball and their eyes are forward, or they're looking at their opponents for whatever reason. It's so important to look at your partner as they hit every single ball. Two reasons. Number one, so we could get a read on what they're doing, their body position. Are they on balance? Are they off? And also so we can see the trajectory off the paddle as soon as possible. Because the big thing here is what Ben is seeing here is he's saying is, okay, what kind of position is Colin in? And if it's a bad, unbalanced, or off-balance position, I got to be more defensive. So you can see here, and you can see Ben take, now he's starting to retreat, and then again, he gets his feet set, split step right there. Boom. Really important there. Okay. Now Andre goes for that, drop volley, and let's just see how this plays out. Okay, so look at that. They get right back up to the line, and then Andre forces the error there. So we saw a lot. There's a lot going on there. We're going to keep moving forward, and we're going to go like right around here. 7-0. Okay, so we're going to watch some points here, and we're going to just try to see some reasons why, or what makes Tardio and Iascu such a threat, and how they were able to pull off this upset here. Third shot drop, or drive, and the drop. Okay. Case in point, one of the reasons here, we're going to see this point again. The third shot drive, everybody. Teaching moment. If you don't have a really good third shot drive, then, I would really encourage you to start working on that. The third shot drive, not only is, utilized by bangers, right? Or players that like to hit the ball hard, but there's so many situations where you need to be able to drive the ball. You need to be able to put pressure on your opponents. Another reason, on the pro level, we can see Andre drive this third shot. And what you will see at the highest levels is they'll drop their fifth. And again, there's not many times where someone will, at high levels, drive a second ball. There are situations, but most of the time they're trying to just get a shorter volley like that. Perfect example, right? So that now Andre actually has an easier drop than the return was, okay? So here's that drop. Really good ball. I mean, really great ball by Ben there. Okay. And then we're going to come back here. Okay, so we got this cross-court dink by Colin here. One of the biggest, I would say, strengths of Tardio is his hands and his attacking ability off of the bounce, out of the air, right? Again, we're going to see this. Look at Tardio right now. His toes are at the line, and as this ball, as he figures out that he can't volley it, right? Watch him create space, really coming off the line. And you can see here, I know he's a little bit off the screen. Now he's speeding up. But one thing that Tardio's really good at is being ready for the counter. Okay. So again, if we go back here, creating space for offense. I talk about this in my intensives all the time, but if you're going to try to be offensive on your shots, we have to create space for that contact point to be out in front. Secondly, when you're attacking, I want to show you where Tardio attacked, actually. This is not a bad counter from Ben here, but notice how Tardio attacks away from the body. I call this attacking the wings, right? He attacks away. Now, Ben has a pretty good counter here, but look how far away it is from his chest, right? At high levels, we need to attack away from the body for the most part, okay? So Ben comes in with the counter, but the counter is kind of right at Tardio. It's right at the body, so he gets a good, good counter back, and then Ben just kind of frames it, mishits it there. But again, if you're gonna beat the Johns brothers, one of the things that you're going to have to do well is attack well and counter well. So obviously Tardio, being that next gen and the upcoming, I think he's still a teenager. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna beat the Johns, this is what we saw in this match, high aggression, on as many balls as they can. Now, little errors here and there. Again, we make them, right? We make errors. And again, if you're out there, just know that pros make mistakes too. All right. If you're out there and you're drilling, you're practicing, you're playing games, the thing about even at the highest level is they're not invincible, right? I play at a very high level. I make mistakes. We just saw Colin miss a return into the net. What really separates good players from great players is great players are really good at resetting as quick as they can. Okay, so again, 0-6. Now, obviously, we know the outcome of this match, but the Johns brothers, one of the reasons why they're so successful is that they're able to reset as fast as they can. Reset, what I mean by that is resetting your mind, getting ready for the next point, and forgetting about and putting away the last error. So we're going to see here 7-0. Okay. So, and Diasky got what he wanted, missed it a little bit long. We're going to jump ahead into some other points here. Looks like the Johns brothers are coming to a timeout. So we're going to actually take a look at this point here. Here we go. We got Tardio serving. Nice topspin serve. Okay. Good movement by Colin. Okay. So little error there. Yeah, we're going to jump into the next point. This looks like a second serve here. Okay. All right, good ball. Here, let's just kind of see this high third shot. And even the pros kind of make this mistake here. Again, when we're coming in on a drop, there's a couple things that I'm thinking about. Number one is how high is that contact going to be, right? When I hit my third shot drop or my partner hits it, I'm trying to come in, and I gotta be really wise on my decision making on how far I come in, or if I even come in at all. Again, I'm looking at contact point of my opponents and the weapons they have, and how aggressive they can be on a particular fourth shot after I'm coming in on my third. So again, even the pros make decisions, they make maybe not the best decision all the time, but again, it's their ability to read that ball, sometimes make great decisions, sometimes they think it's a little bit lower than it really is, but this drop is pretty high. Colin's leaning in here. And again, they both, you can see Andre and Tardio, they both have great resets, great hands. But again, this situation in particular, I would say Tardio could have split step a little bit sooner, right? We can argue that, right? And again, from this position, if you see Tardio here, he's more in a defensive position. So I would like to maybe see Tardio reset this ball, because then it goes right to his paddle and he's kind of out of position. Again, being aggressive, that's what got him there. That's what got him the win. But we're just analyzing a few points here and there. Okay, so we're gonna actually move forward here, and we'll jump to here 5-10. Little error there by Diasky, and we got a second serve here 6-10. Here we go. Really good slice dinks there. Okay, really good. All right. Yeah, so one thing I do want to mention here that's always undervalued is players' footwork, the pro level footwork. One of the things that I talk about in my intensives and when I'm teaching people all the time is footwork is king. It really is. One of the things that I like to say is that you are only as good as your feet. And what I mean by that is your feet are really the foundation of every single thing you do on the court. So if you're 3-5, 4-0, 4-5, 5-0, you can become more efficient with your feet, and you can always improve that part of your game, and that will improve all the parts of your game. We're going to see this. I want you to see Andre here, and I call this the shuffle step. In this case, the angled shuffle step. You can see how much in a wide stance Andre is. And again, we talk about the shuffle step in a lot of videos. You can see Ben dropping this ball. Watch Andre's right foot come over. And then that left foot comes out in an angle. Again, this is the best way to create space for your shot. Especially, it doesn't really matter if you're really hitting slice or topspin. We need to get behind the ball and create space. And this is what allows Diascu to hit that knifing, cross-court dink, okay? And here we go. We see it again. This gets a little bit wide. Not the best angle, but Ben goes around the post here. And watch this. We got the ATP defense. And then look at Ben coming here with that follow-up attack, but Tardio just being there. I mean, I think one of the things that Tardio does really well is he is just ready for the counter. He's ready for any attack here in real time. Boom, boom. So I just think his anticipation is really good. And obviously we see Andre. He's just rock solid when it comes to the fundamentals. Andre doesn't make a lot of errors. And his game has grown tremendously. So we're gonna keep hopping in here, and we're gonna watch a few more points here. Okay, and here we go. All right, so we got this is game point here, match point here. So we'll watch this one. Got Andre with the serve. Good return, nice drive. We're going to see a fifth shot drop like always. Oh, wow, and that was match point. Okay, so obviously we can go through a ton of film, everybody, and break down every point. But again, we're going to see this here. This is the final point. There's the return. Here's the third shot drive, and we talked about great drive, by the way, by Tardio. We're going to talk about, or we're going to see here how that fifth shot drop is utilized. Again, you will not see a lot of pro players drive multiple times in a row because, again, that initial drive usually is to cause a short ball or maybe a little shake and bake or to find some offense. But here we go. Here's that drop here. And then you'll see Ben come off the line to create space. Okay, and this is just a little bit high. So notice Andre's positioning and him being really tall. Now this is a topspin dink here that Ben makes, 90 out of 100 times, 95 out of 100 times. This one is a little bit high, and watch Andre here as he leans in. I mean, this is a little kind of just a backhand. I wouldn't call this necessarily a flick. It is kind of a flick, but it's just like a little poke here. And then Colin tries to counter it. And then we got Andre with the big counter. Oh, and that was right in. There you go. So we're going to watch this in real time here. Again, the initiation on that first attack and just being ready for that. So really quick, if you're initiating the attack at any time, one thing that's really important to know and realize is make sure you're always ready for the counter. Okay, you should never be surprised. If you are the one attacking first, you should never, ever be surprised for the counter. And that's something that I work with players all the time. So if you're initiating, always be ready for that. And as a recap, as a reaction, again, Tardio and Diascu, really great players. They were very, very aggressive. Fundamentally, they did all the right things, and they made really good choices. Again, this is probably up until now, probably the biggest upset. But again, if you're going to beat the Johns, you got to play really good fundamentally. Good drops, good resets. You got to get to the kitchen line, and you have to be very aggressive and be ready to counter. So I think that's what they did really well. Again, if you really like this content, please leave a comment below. Let me know, let us know, so that we can keep making these kind of things. I really appreciate you. This was my reaction to this match. And again, if you would like any training with me in person, make sure that you check the description below. I really, really appreciate all of you who watch and consume our content. It really keeps this channel going, and I'll see you in the next video.